Hello friends, how are you doing today? In the last video, I asked about one question in the enterprise world, what exactly happens when they adopt the generative AI solution for their enterprise business use cases. The question was about the retail company who has the stores across the globe and they wanted to implement the generative AI solution, and they may have multiple existing systems like CRM, supply chain management system, and how they can integrate the generative AI solution with these systems, and how you can adopt generative AI technology and come up with an enterprise architecture diagram as an enterprise cloud architect. That was the question. Let me go through the question once again, and then we'll get into the answer right away. I hope you can see my screen. See, this was the series that we started last week, GenAI implementation real-time scenario series. And this was the question: as an enterprise cloud architect, how would you design and implement the integration of GenAI solution into your global retail enterprise cloud architecture to address customer satisfaction issues? Specifically, how would you ensure seamless compatibility with existing CRM, supply chain, and analytics systems while maintaining data security, that is important, regulatory compliance across regions, and scalability to handle fluctuations in demand across multiple geographies? This was the question. And some of you guys answered and shared the information to me, and I would like to go over the detailed answer in this video. So this is a recap of the question. Let's get into the detailed answer. So as a cloud enterprise architect, you must definitely summarize this scenario clearly when you present this to your CTO or higher management. So what you must do, you must clearly provide the summary. Here the summary is, I will design a scalable, secure and AI driven architecture on a particular cloud. Here I took IBM Cloud as example to enhance customer satisfaction for a global retail enterprise. The solution will seamlessly integrate with existing CRM, supply chain, and analytics systems, ensuring interoperability, data security, and compliance with global regulations while scaling dynamically to handle fluctuations in demand across multiple regions. So this is my summary before getting into the detailed architecture implementation. And next key thing, when you implement this type of architecture to your organization, you must definitely call out the business and technical challenges. Since it is a retail company, here we took an example. The business challenges are declining customer satisfaction. The reason or the root cause would be the slow response time, lack of personalization, inefficient issue resolution. That means, like, if your customer is coming up with an issue, you may take longer time or inefficient way to provide solution to your customer. And if your customer has a personal preference, right, if you are not tracking that properly, you will end up not serving your customer properly. And also, if the customer comes with an issue or any return and refund issue, your response should be faster. And if you do a slow response, you will get into the customer satisfaction issue. And second business challenge is inefficient supply chain management. As a retail company, you must know the demand forecasting issues, and also you must know what is the stock in and what is the stock out. And if you maintain overstock, you will get into a lot of problem in maintaining your inventory. And third business challenge will be regulatory compliance. Since this is a retail company that is doing business across the globe, and they must adhere to the compliances, GDPR, CCPA, PCI DSS compliances across the global markets. And when you adopt generative AI technology, you must take care of all these compliances for your organization. And fourth business challenge will be scalability and availability. Since your retail company is across the globe and you may get into a lot of demand and supply issues, you must have a solid system performance to serve your customer properly. And what are the technical challenges in this case? You must need to integrate the legacy system, because when you adopt generative AI technology, you cannot assume that all the applications in your organization may have the compatibility with the generative technology. So you must need to deal with the legacy systems. You must need to deal with the existing CRM, ERP, and e-commerce platforms, and make sure that your generative AI can be seamlessly integrated with these systems. And definitely there will be real-time data processing challenge, because you are handling a lot of customer data. When the customer buys a product through online or over the counter, you may get into this type of technical challenge like real-time data processing, handling high throughput data ingestion from multiple sources. And also there will be definitely security and governance challenge, because when you deal with multiple data, right, customer data, PI data, the data privacy, encryption, and types of IAM policy, identity and access management policies are critical for adopting generative technology for your enterprise. And when it comes to hybrid cloud or multi-cloud integration, as an enterprise, you may not be dealing with only one particular cloud environment, either it's a private cloud or on-premises or public cloud. You might be running your workload in different environments. So you definitely need to have the solution. That solution must fit in with this multi-cloud and hybrid cloud integration. So before getting into the design of this enterprise architecture for this particular scenario, you must list out all the business challenges and technical challenges so that you can easily implement this generative AI technology for your organization. And when it comes to the detailed elaboration of like what exactly we are going to cover in this solution, first you must know how this IBM cloud-based solution, architecture solution work, and what are all the components or services that you are going to use for this particular implementation. First, data ingestion and integration layer. In this layer, what are all the services that we need? We need to list out all these services clearly so that our architecture will come fine. The goal here is to collect the real-time data from multiple data sources and ensure that secure API-driven communication is happening with these type of data. And first thing is API Connect. IBM API Connect is a service available in the IBM cloud. You can leverage this service to host your API, create the API, and manage the API, publish the API to the users in secure way. It uses API gateway to connect to the CRM applications and also supply chain applications, as this particular organization has already these type of legacy applications running. And second thing is IBM Event Stream. So basically, IBM Event Stream is a technology that was built with open source Kafka that takes care of the real-time streaming of your customer transaction and order tracking, any type of data that comes through different social media for your organization. And the real-time stream data can be captured and it can be ingested to the generative AI technology so that you can have the solid data for your AI model to serve you better. And third one is IBM Cloud Object Storage. This can be acting as a centralized data repository for your unstructured customer data that can come from email, chat, and logs. So the data ingestion and integration layer needs minimum 3 components for this architecture implementation. One, IBM API Connect, and second, IBM Event Stream, and third one, IBM Cloud Object Storage. And second layer is AI and machine learning layer that we are going to see it in our architecture diagram. The goal here is to enhance the customer satisfaction using GenAI, NLP, and predictive analytics. What are all the IBM's cloud services available for you to implement this architecture better? First one is IBM Watson Assistant. This is AI-powered chatbot for multilingual real-time support. It can be used for web application, mobile application, and any type of social media. Basically, this Watson Assistant will act as a chatbot wherein your customer will come and share the input so that they can get the response as they receive from the real agent. And IBM Watson natural language understanding (NLU) is used for sentiment analysis. Basically, when the customer comes with a feedback, Watson natural language understanding will receive the feedback and analyze the sentiment of the customer, how the customer looks, whether customer is frustrated, customer is happy. So this level of data can be captured, and Watson Discovery will act as a database or data source where it will have the personalized recommendations for AI-driven searches. And Watson X.AI, it will act as a studio wherein you can pick the right large language model and you can do the prompt tuning, fine tuning, and you can definitely pick a model which is specific for retail customer, and you can do the predictive analytics with Watson X.AI. And Watson Machine Learning, this is AI powered demand forecasting, and it can be used for supply chain optimization and churn prediction for your organization. And the third layer will be data processing analytics. So wherein this particular layer is needed for building your architecture properly, because when the customer sends a lot of data to your organization via chat or in-person purchase or over the phone. These data will be collected and stored into a reliable and structured, unstructured data storage. These data are very much required for getting the insight about your customer and serve your customer properly so that you can increase the customer satisfaction solidly. First one is IBM DB2 warehouse. It will be a perfect storage for this type of scenarios wherein you can receive the customer data and store it in the SQL based data warehouse, and it can be scalable and it can be used for storing transactional and customer data. And second component or service that you can spin up and use it in your IBM cloud is IBM Cloud Preferred Data. So this has components which are helping you to store, observe, organize, collect, curate, and give the data to the AI models. So that is AI driven data governance can be achieved, and data lineage is very important when you implement this type of scenario for your organization. That can be achieved with IBM Cloud Preferred Data, and also you can execute the federated queries across multiple data sources and collectively get the response and feed this response to AI model. AI model will get that response and process that and give the real time details to the customer to solve the problem, and your customer satisfaction rate will increase fine. And Cognos Analytics is another service that you can spin up and use it in this architecture. This will help you to build the real time dashboards and reports, and you can use this particular service for building the dashboard, and you can use the dashboard to monitor the customer trends, sales, insight, and AI recommenders can be achieved with this service. And the fourth layer and very important layer is security and compliance layer. The goal here is we have to ensure that data protection is completely achieved, and also access control is clearly provisioned for your application and as well as the customers. And also one of the key services here is to maintain the regulatory compliance for all the services that you provide in different countries. So for that you must need to have cloud security advisor. This is one of the key services. This will help you to achieve the centralized monitoring for threat intelligence and anomaly detections. So basically when your data is flowing through different layers, your security advisor will do a centralized monitoring and find out if there are any threats or intelligence is available, and it will report you immediately. And also if there are any anomaly detection happens, it will capture that and reports immediately. And the second service is IBM Key Protect service. This will help you to encrypt the data, and also if you have any keys, customer managed keys, that can be encrypted and managed, and it will follow all the secured AI workloads. It will be useful for all the secured AI workloads. And IBM IAM and Security Verify, this is Identity and Access Management Service and Verify service. This will help you to provide the role-based access control for your users. So in your architecture, you may come up with different users. One, the administrator, and second, the internal user, and third, external user. So you must need to control the access based on the role. So for that, you must have this IBM IAM Security and Verify services. And also this particular service will help you to implement multi-factor authentication for your architecture. And the fourth one is IBM Data Privacy Service. Basically, when you deal with this type of customers, that is retail customer, you may collect a lot of customer information that may include customers' personal identifiable information. So those information should be kept secretly and it should not be open to the public. So you can maintain the reputation of your organization by keeping this type of data safe. And also, as you know that this particular service provider or product company or retail company has the stores across the globe. So when it comes to maintaining the store across different part of the country or different countries in the world, you must take care of the GDPR, CCPA, PCI DSS compliances clearly. Otherwise, your organization may get into the trouble when you deal with people across the globe. And then fifth layer is, or fifth important component in this architecture is deployment and scalability. So this has to be achieved with the help of multiple other services like Red Hat, OpenShift, IBM Cloud Kubernetes Service, and Cloud Functions. And what is the goal of this particular component in the architecture? The deployment and scalability must be achieved to ensure the high availability, auto scaling, and cloud native deployment, so that your deployment can be smooth and faster, and also you can easily integrate these type of components with the existing applications, which are cloud native applications running in your cloud service provider. One Red Hat OpenShift on IBM Cloud. This is a containerized microservice deployment environment for all the AI workloads. So why we are choosing Red Hat OpenShift here? Since in this scenario you have the CRM applications and SAP applications which are running in your legacy environment. So what you must take care of? You must take care of integrating these services which are running in the on-premises private cloud and public cloud. So the Red Hat OpenShift hybrid cloud platform will provide you single pane of glass to monitor all these services across all the environments. And when it comes to auto scaling and the global traffic load balancing, you must adopt this particular service, IBM Cloud Kubernetes service, so that you can easily auto scale the load or applications according to the load. And cloud functions, which are very much important for this type of AI based real time automation solution, because you may deal with different executions, like the auto scaling execution without dependent on the manual setup of this infrastructure platform and services for your architecture. So IBM Cloud Functions will act as a serverless execution function for this type of cloud enterprise architecture, which is adopting the generative AI solution. So let's get into the component architecture diagram. So if you look at this diagram, yes, we know that the data comes from different sources. Either it may be from the agent or over the mobile phone or desktop applications, wherever it may be. So once the data starts from this type of application, your retail company will have this custom GenAI application to receive this type of data. And once after receiving this data, you must use API Connect solution or Event Stream solution or both. So API Connect is, as I mentioned earlier, it has rich set of API generation capability. So you can have low code, no code approach of building the API with simple drag and drop functionalities, and you can create the API and use the API to consume the data from the generative AI application that you have in your front end area. And once after consuming the application data, you pass to the event stream, or it can get the real-time data from the customer, and event stream service will help you to receive those real-time data and pass it to the data access layer. So the data access layer will receive all the data, and as we saw in our previous slide, the services that we took to store the data, organize the data, analyze the data, curate the data, all those can be achieved with the help of this data components and data sources. It will get stored in the data source. And once that is stored in the data source safely, securely, it can be consumed by the generative AI services like Watson Next Machine Learning, What's Next AI, wherein you can pick the right model for your business scenario, and that model will consume the data, analyze the data, and it will pass back to your front end application, and you can serve your customer effectively and efficiently. So if you look at this flow, we start with the customer data, and we have the front end application, and it will get the data, and we use the APIs to consume those data, and also we can use event stream services that was built with Kafka and get those data and pass it to the data access layer, and data access layer will pass the data to the data components. Here the data storage, data curation, everything happens, and the finalized curated data will be sent to the AI model, generative AI model, and that model will analyze particular data and give the right efficient activity to you to serve your customer better. And if you look at the top, this component is data governance component, wherein you can use this data governance layer for monitoring and governing your data across the flow. That is very important. And also, if you look at the cloud pack component, what we adopted here, in this API connect and event stream scenario, where you use IBM Cloud Platform integration component to deploy these two services, and these two services will help you to get the data and pass it in the API, and also event stream will help you to get the real-time data, and it will use the um, queue and topic service to pass the data to different external systems. And data access layer, and also the data components and data sources can be deployed with Cloud Platform data, and the Watson X ML and Watson X.ai services are part of the IBM Cloud Platform data component. It can run on the Red Hat OpenShift hybrid cloud platform, because this particular platform will be helpful for managing the workload across all the environments, either it is public cloud, private cloud, or open source on premises. And if you look at this end-to-end security layer, I covered it all over these components, because the end-to-end security may not be having only on front-end side or back-end side. It has to be across all the layers. So this is the component architecture diagram for this particular business use case. So I'm going to remind the business use case again. You are a retail company and you are trying to solve the customer satisfaction issue that you are facing, and you had a lot of business challenges and technology challenges, and you are going to adopt the generative AI solution for your organization and come up with a cloud enterprise architecture diagram with the help of AI services and integration services, data services, which are available in the IBM cloud. I took IBM cloud here to explain it, and you can match these services with whatever the cloud of your type or your choice. So here is the flow. What happened? The customer channels like website or mobile, chat, email, these are all the areas that data comes from the customer side, and the data will pass it to IBM API Connect service that we picked for this particular use case, because we need to have the REST API to consume those data and pass it to the data sources or data component. And the API Connect routes the data securely, and the API traffic will be passed to the IBM event stream. In this case, the data can be passed from IBM API Connect to event stream. Also, the event stream can get the data directly from the customer facing applications. It can be real-time data, and it uses Kafka in underlying. It's open source technology, so that you can get the data stream properly and securely. And once after getting this data, the IBM Cloud Preferred Data component receives, and it organizes the data, analyzes the data, curates, and it applies all the data governance policies so that your data is curated and you can use those data for analytics purpose. And the fourth service, once after getting all these data, curate it and keep it ready for your generative AI solution to consume and provide effective solution for you, Watson AI solution will help you to do this particular job. What it does, it enhances the customer experience with AI-driven chatbot that can be achieved with Watson Assistant tool, and also sentiment analysis of your customer can be achieved with Watson NLU, and also recommendations can be provided by Watson Discovery and Watson X.ai services. So all these services are available as a SaaS solution. As an enterprise architect, you must know all these services, and you must know how to use these services. It's not a rocket science. You can go and log into the IBM cloud, and if you have an account, that's fine. If you don't have an account, you can create a free account and then play around with these services. And you can spin up these services. As I mentioned in the previous flow diagram or component architecture diagram, you can connect these services. And Watson machine learning services will help you to build a model, and also it will help you to forecast your supply chain, and also fraud detection can be achieved with this help of Watson machine learning. Security and compliances, you have plenty of services in IBM cloud. You can go and explore. IBM IAM, Key Protect, and Security Advisor will help you to implement this type of security mechanisms, and also regulatory compliance like GDPR, CCPA, PCI DSS compliance can be achieved with this type of services. And when it comes to the underlying platform, we chose Red Hat OpenShift hybrid cloud platform because As a retail company, you may have the services running in your legacy on-premises environment or private cloud or public cloud environment. You must have the hybrid solutions to integrate all these services which are running in different environments so that you can easily achieve your business goal. And cloud functions, as you know that serverless AI automation is the key in this case when you implement cloud architecture, enterprise cloud architecture with generative AI solutions. So you must know serverless AI automation, how that can be achieved with the help of IBM cloud functions. And this is the exact architecture diagram. This is available as public. I am going to share the link in the description. You can go and download this diagram, or you can use this as a reference for implementing the solution for your organization. So if you look at this, customer has the various ways of communicating to the system. They may come with digital, or they may come with voice, and also customer helping agent or human agent will help the customer to get the data. When you get past to the API layer, as I mentioned in the previous diagram, you had this IBM API Connect, which has the capability to create and post the APIs and publish the API for the consumers to consume. So these APIs or REST APIs or SOAP APIs, or you can use HTTP protocol or WebRTC protocol and communicate the data to the contact center as a service platform. So if you look at this one, for this type of customer satisfaction scenarios or customer satisfaction issue in any of the retail companies, you must aware about the existing platform that will help you to achieve this type of solution solidly with the help of pre-built components. So if you look at this contact center as a service platform, you can have this agent desktop, skills, IVR, queues, flows, administration. These are all the key components which are required to help to achieve the customer satisfaction. And you can have this telephony and analytic reports for receiving the telephony information, analytics and reporting for generating the analytics for analytics of your customer data. And also data can be in the form of recordings or transcript. So these contact center as service platform must need to talk to the backend system or business services. You can have the backend broker layer or business services, which may be the REST services, to connect to the CRM and sales, marketing, and system of records, wherein you can have the seamless integration of these components with the legacy services, and also auxiliary business services, which are like a payment gateway, weather service. So if you are implementing this type of generative AI solution for solving the customer satisfaction problem, you must need to know what are all the external resources available to communicate and get the data from it. One best example here is weather service. If you know the weather forecast and if you know whether it's good or bad, based on that you can communicate with your customer clearly so that they can avoid the issues during the bad weather conditions. And also traffic. The traffic data can be achieved with connecting with external traffic services so that you can provide a best service to your customers. And if you look at this right side, you have the AI services. AI services, as I mentioned, the speech to text service and text to speech service, agent services, virtual agent, data science, and orchestration can be achieved with the help of AI services, what we saw in the previous slide, whether what's in X.AI, what's in XML, and what's in Discovery. These are all the generative AI solution available in IBM Cloud, and you can use these type of solutions to achieve your customer satisfaction business use case clearly. And when it comes to data platform, as we saw, cloud perfect data, data warehouse, data lake, and these are all the data components or data services available in IBM Cloud. You can leverage these cloud services to build the robust data platform for enterprise cloud architecture. So this diagram talks about how you can replace the services what we saw in the previous architecture diagram with the cloud service of your favorite choice. So let's say like you are using Amazon as your cloud service provider, and you may need to know the services which are required to fit in with this contact center as a service platform. For example, connecting with different data sources, you can use Amazon Connect and Amazon CCP and Amazon Custom Profile. These are all the services you can fit in with this enterprise cloud architecture model, and you can leverage those services for implementing this type of cloud enterprise architecture solution. And also when it comes to the data, you can use contact lens from Amazon and Amazon Kinesis for the streaming services. And when it comes to serverless solution, you will go with AWS Lambda, and also it will help you to do the API integration to talk to external resources like CRM and SAP applications. And to talk to the auxiliary applications, you may have the REST or SOAP-based services, and external system can be leveraged with blockchain type of systems or directory service systems. These type of services are available in AWS. You can spin up these services and fit in those services in the enterprise cloud architecture. So what I'm trying to do here is trying to give a enterprise architecture template wherein you can fit in the services of your cloud service provider choice. Suppose if you are using AWS as a cloud service provider, you can spin up the respective services in this architecture and build the architecture. Suppose if you are using Azure as your cloud service provider, go and refer the corresponding cloud services and fit in with this architecture. And also when it comes to AI services, here I have highlighted the AI services provided by Amazon, but when it comes to the effective AI implementation, you can integrate this entire system with the IBM watsonx generative AI solutions like watsonx.ai, watsonx.governance, and watsonx.data. These type of watsonx generative AI solutions can be integrated seamlessly with this type of cloud architecture. So as an enterprise cloud architecture is helping to adopt generative AI technology for your organization, you must know this type of architecture so that you can spin up the required service and help your organization to implement this type of enterprise cloud architecture for adopting the generative AI solutions. And also data platform, as I mentioned, here I have highlighted the required data lake, and you can use Amazon S3. Instead of Amazon S3, you can use IBM Cloud Object Storage, or if you are using Azure, you can go for Azure storage mechanism, whatever it may be. But this is the cloud enterprise architecture diagram for adopting the generative AI solution for your organization to solve the customer satisfaction issue. And this is another reference architecture. This architecture is available in public. You can go and view this architecture. So if you look at this architecture, we can easily understand how the administrators and developer can communicate to the system through the VPN connection, and also how on-premises enterprise applications are maintained, how it can be leveraged with the help of hybrid cloud platform. And also the consumer end user will have the channel like devices to communicate to the system. All the data will pass through the secure layer, and it will reach the primary region where it has the multi-zone availability to make sure that availability is achieved with the help of this multi-zone mechanism. And if you look at the client workload, this has this management tooling, gateway, VPN, and other secured services. And also you have the GenAI application which receives the request from the customer, and it may be built with the application like Node.js and Java. And also you may have the edge services where you have the device in your store, retail store, that receives the data from the customer when they search the product or view the product in the store. It will get passed to the transit gateway, and it will reach the infrastructure as a service or platform as a service and software as a service services available in the IBM cloud. So what are all the infrastructure as a service components? Like the AX servers, and you can have VMs, and all the infrastructure specific components are available as a service. We can leverage those services. And platform services like that hybrid cloud platform and Kubernetes platform and whatever virtual machine platform, you can leverage these type of platform as a service solution provided by IBM Cloud. And also you can have the software as a solution for each category. If you look at this, first box will tell you like what are all the Watson services or generative AI solution for your organization to explore and provide the customer satisfaction solution for your organization. If you look at this, what's next.ai, what's in discovery, what's next on governance, what's next on data, what's an assistant, what's an orchestrate. These are all the what's next or generative AI solution for the enterprises like you to achieve the solid generative AI solution. And data storage, you can leverage cloud and service or DB2 service, PostgreSQL service, Elasticsearch service, block storage, and object storage service. And when it comes to app runtime, code engine is one of the key services, and functions, serverless functions can be achieved with the help of these functions, and also event streams. As you know that real-time data can be passed to this stream-based solution, which are built with Kafka as open source in the back. So these type of services are available for you to spin up and build this solid architecture for your organization. And when it comes to the application lifecycle, DevSecOps, you can leverage these type of services: continuous integration, continuous delivery. Container registry is another service when you deploy your application as in the containers, and also deployable architecture, configurations, and repo architecture are the services for helping you out in the application lifecycle and DevSecOps. And when it comes to security and compliance, you can leverage these services: IAM, HPCS, Key Protect, and also SEC, Security Verify. These are all the security services available in the IBM Cloud. You can spin up these services and integrate with the cloud enterprise architecture, what we saw in the previous slide, and provide a solid architecture for your business use case. And also, when it comes to logging and monitoring, you definitely need a lot of solid services to help your organization to log the flow, monitor the workload, monitor the log, and also you must need to have services to take the anomaly which is happening in the network flow and application log. So those are all the key monitoring services that you need to build a solid cloud enterprise architecture for your organization. For that, you must need to go with monitoring, flow logs, and IBM Cloud logs. So this is about the solution architecture, or you can call it as cloud enterprise architecture, because we are dealing with enterprise and we are providing the solution for enterprise problem. So this is cloud enterprise architecture diagram along with the generative AI solutions. So basically, when it comes to implementing this type of generative AI architecture in enterprises, you must know how to leverage the services available in the cloud, and also what are all the key services for integration, and what are all the key services required for maintaining and storing the data, and what are all the key services required for implementing the generative AI solutions. So you must aware about all these services in the cloud service provider. Either it is AWS, IBM, or Google Cloud, or Azure, whatever the cloud service provider you are dealing with, you must aware about these type of components and bring in these components in the structured way and create the cloud architecture diagram for your business use case. So we created the cloud enterprise architecture diagram for adopting the generative solution for enterprise like retail company, wherein we help to implement this architecture for solving the business use cases like customer satisfaction issue, and what are all the business impact after implementing the solution. After implementing the solution, since you have the curated data and your generative AI solution is helping to solve the issues efficiently and effectively, it will increase the customer satisfaction. That is first business impact. And also, second, since we are using the generative AI to predict the supply and demand, and also we do know the in-stock and overstock issues, so we can reduce the supply chain inefficiencies. That will improve the AI-powered demand forecasting. So that is another business impact. And third business impact is enhanced security and compliance. Since you are dealing with different organizations and different stores across the globe, you must need to know about the compliances like GDPR compliances. So, and also you must need to deal with the customer's PII data. Your data privacy can be completely achieved. So this will improve the security and compliances area in your organization. This is another business impact. And fourth business impact is scalable AI deployment. Since we are using auto scale, and also we are using the seamless services to deploy and maintain your workloads across the platforms, like if you have the services running in on-premises, private cloud, or public cloud, you have the solid single pane of glass for maintaining the workloads across all these environments. So you definitely have scalable AI deployment. So that's it about this cloud services implementation in enterprise cloud architecture. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, give a thumbs up and share it to your friends so that they will also get benefit out of it. And if you have any thoughts around this architecture and approach, feel free to comment in the comment box below. Take care. Bye.